12 News at 10 starts now.
We start this Sunday night at 10 o'clock with a 12 News weather impact alert. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley tracking excessive heat along with some rain totals as we get ready for a new work week. Linz.
Yes, and we have an excessive heat warning that goes into effect tomorrow and continues through 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. We are talking dangerous heat, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. both Monday and Tuesday. What you need to know is avoiding or limiting outdoor activities, especially during the hottest part of the day, which is typically between 3 and 5 when we see our high temperature. Here's exactly where that excessive heat warning is, and these are the locations in magenta here where we will have the hottest temperatures across the state. This includes Phoenix, parts of the Colorado River Valley, and out toward Globe. Temperatures as hot as 114. And yes, records are in jeopardy. Now tomorrow with a high of 113, we'll be within 2 degrees of a record, but we have a better chance at hitting a record high on Tuesday. Current forecast is for 114. The old record is 113, set back in 2019. Hour by hour tomorrow, temps starting off right around 90 degrees. 9 a.m. it's 95, 101 by 11, and then we'll be in the 1-teens between 3 and 5 p.m. On the monsoon meter, it will be a dry day here in the valley, also western Arizona, but we will see pop-up storms for northern Arizona as well as eastern Arizona. And then as we get toward the middle of the week, our chances right here in the valley will be going up. We'll have more on that and more on the heat coming up in my full forecast. Jonathan.
All right, Lindsay, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks. Tonight, the water once again flowing to each and every person in Casa Grande after those storms from overnight left folks without water this morning. The outage finally repaired this afternoon. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra spent the day talking to folks caught off guard this morning.
Water is flowing once again after a very dry morning in Casa Grande.
Slow stream to a drip to absolutely no water.
Nearly the entire city was without water, or at least water pressure, for most of Sunday morning.
I didn't think it was going to be off that long, but it certainly was most of the day.
The neighbors all started calling each other like, do you have water? No. Do you have water? No.
Despite living in the desert, Carol Hurst says she's never experienced a water outage before.
Power, yes. That, no.
The Arizona Water Company says last night's lightning storm is to blame for an outage that struck about 4,000 customers.
It took all of our booster stations out that supplies water to the northern part of our system.
Vice President of Operations Mark Karen says the outage happened overnight. Electricians and technicians worked all morning to restore the power and recover water.
Everything's back up and running. Everything's fixed.
From sprinklers to faucets, people were relieved to see water running once again.
Awesome. Because we were hot and tired and really wanting water and to wash our face.
And say it's a good reminder to always have a backup on hand.
For us, because of the bottled water, it didn't really, pay mind to it.
In Casa Grande, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Developing at this hour since we last saw you on 12 News at 5:30, we have learned that an ASU professor now behind bars for shooting and killing his wife. Scottsdale police arrested David Chu yesterday evening after a shooting at a home near 136th Street and Shea Boulevard. We're told his wife died at the hospital from her injuries. So far, detectives have not released details on what led up to that shooting. According to his ASU bio, Chu worked for the Department of Management and Entrepreneurship. In a statement to 12 News, ASU says that our, quote, condolences go out to all of those affected by this tragedy. Also developing the Sunday night, Phoenix police investigating an incident of domestic violence at an apartment complex in North Phoenix. This scene unfolding near 19th Avenue and Bell tonight. Police say 2 children inside of that apartment at the time of the shooting. Tonight, police say they are looking for a man who ran away from the scene. A woman who was injured in this shooting tonight is recovering at the hospital. We're told that no one else was hurt. New at 10 o'clock tonight, caught on camera, shots fired during a road rage incident at a Tempe intersection. Tonight, new video showing us how this scene all unfolded. According to court records last week, Alyssa Soto reportedly pulled up to another car at the intersection of Higley and McKellips. Soto and the other driver started arguing when the light turned green. Video appears to show Soto pulling out a gun and firing at the other car. We're told no one was hurt. Soto tonight facing a number of charges. Arizona troopers looking at whether impairment may have played a role in a deadly wrong-way crash from overnight. This scene happening on the Loop 202 near Elliott. Troopers say the crash involving 3 cars, 2 drivers were killed. No one in the third car was hurt. That area closed for a number of hours during that investigation, but is once again back open tonight. Right now, 12 News is staying in contact with DPS to learn more about those drivers who were killed. Also, since 12 News at 5:30, we've learned that name of a man now behind bars for reportedly firing shots at Buckeye police. Police say they arrested 51-year-old Edward Rivas overnight after a domestic scene near Miller Road and Southern Avenue. Officers say a woman called 911 saying that her husband was trying to kill her. When officers got to the scene, they say that Rivas fired at them and then refused to come out of his home. He later turned himself in hours later. Right now, 12 News is working to learn more details about a suspect now wanted in an afternoon shooting here in Phoenix. This scene happening at a park near 62nd Avenue in Roosevelt. Investigators say the shooter shot a man and then left that scene. Tonight, we're told the victim recovering from serious injuries. Now to Decision 2024. We are just now 79 days away from election night. And tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris has touched down in Chicago before the start of tomorrow's Democratic National Convention. Before arriving in the Windy City, the VP making a campaign stop in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. She's expected to join President Joe Biden on stage after his opening night speech at the DNC. Meanwhile, her rival, former President Donald Trump, preparing to visit Arizona this week. Trump is scheduled to make 2 stops in Arizona focused on immigration and issues at the border. Thursday, he's expected to attend an event in Montezuma Pass along the Arizona-Sonora border. Then on Friday, he'll attend a campaign rally at Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale. The former president's last visit to Arizona was back in June. You can find more details on that rally, including how to register for tickets, right now at 12news.com.
Once he is done and gone, I really believe that my Senate colleagues, the Republicans in the United States Senate, will get back onto this bill because they negotiated it. And this wasn't meeting them like on the 50th.
Arizona Senator Mark Kelly says a bipartisan immigration bill derailed by former President Trump will be brought back if Vice President Harris wins the White House. This morning on CBS's Face the Nation, Kelly said that he believes that Republicans will be on board with that plan. He said that Harris would sign it if elected. Tonight, there are also reports that former First Lady Michelle Obama will also speak during the DNC. Several sources telling NBC News that she is set to speak Tuesday night, the same night her husband, former President Barack Obama, will also address the convention. Opening night of the Democratic National Convention kicking off tomorrow night with President Joe Biden's speech. Be sure to join Lester Holt, Savannah Guthrie, and the entire NBC News team for reporting, interviews, and live analysis. You can catch it right here starting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Right here on 12 News. In a matter of hours, relief finally on the way for drivers going through the Broadway curve. We'll show you how it could impact your ride on your Monday morning commute. Plus, he's making the difference in his community. Tonight, we'll introduce you to this week's 12 News Champion of the Week.